Hi, my name is Dr. Patricia Coglin. I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in the teaching and practice of intensive short-term dynamic psychotherapy. On January 7th, 2022, in collaboration with ISTDP San Diego, I will be offering a full-day audiovisual webinar focusing on the understanding and resolution of conflicts around sexuality. I find that therapists often avoid this topic. First of all, they're not delving into the patient's sexual history or looking into their behavior, and so they might not even detect that the patient has some significant difficulties in this area. It's something that patients, often don't offer up easily, and yet they might talk about, just relationship problems. Things haven't been quite the same since they got married or since their wife had a baby. And again, by asking very specific questions, something that is key to ISTDP in general, right? We have to be very specific and also ask the patient specific questions so that we can gather the data to form a hypothesis about what kinds of conflicts might be responsible for the patient's sexual difficulties. So in men, this will often come out as some sort of sexual inhibition, premature ejaculation, or impotence. With women, an inability to have an orgasm. And again, it's by doing very detailed inquiry, including into their sexual fantasies and so on, that we can discover what is the nature of the conflict responsible for these difficulties so that we can then hope to resolve them. Davenlew has some classic cases in which sexual conflicts figure prominently. For example, the salesman who suddenly lost interest sexually in his wife after she gave birth and in fact had an affair with his sister-in-law. And Davenlew asks very specific questions about what their bodies looked like and what did the mother's body look like, right? Because he had a hypothesis that it was some sort of Oedipal conflict, right? Why would this man who had no sexual difficulties with his wife prior to her becoming a mother, would he then have difficulty, right? So this is just an example of a particular dynamic that might be responsible for sexual difficulties. You might also run across sort of the classic Madonna and whore complex, right? Where a man can really only have sexual pleasure and satisfaction with a wanton woman, someone he doesn't respect, someone he is not, in fact, in a relationship with, while having a lot of difficulty being sexually potent or getting satisfaction with the woman he actually loves or is in some way committed to. And again, getting to the bottom of that, which often involves actually a fusion of sexual and aggressive impulses. And since being aggressive toward a woman that he cares about would create a real conflict, he kind of splits and has to have two women. So again, there can be all kinds of underlying conflicts and dynamics responsible for sexual dysfunction. And that's what we, as dynamic psychotherapists, want to be able to discover, bring to the surface, and resolve so that the patient is able to, first of all, integrate sexual feelings with loving feelings, and therefore also have a sexually satisfying relationship with somebody he actually cares about. So I hope you will join us on January 7th for this fascinating and important topic. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.